What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone who support the platform. Much love, much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building. If you are here and you can hear me clearly, please drop y'all ones in the chat. Please drop y'all ones in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly so we could get right into today's show. Drop y'all ones in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly so we can get right into today's show. Okay. Shout out to everyone in the building. Shout out to everyone in the building. I appreciate the ones. I appreciate the ones. And of course, we are back right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. Of course, shout out to everyone in the building, man. Shout out to everyone in the building. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. Hit that like button on the way in. Shout out to all the visionaries, man. We got another great show lined up for you guys. We're going to get into it today. We are going to get into it today. But before we get into it, I'm going to give some shout outs. I'm going to shout out everyone in the chat. And then we're going to get to it, man. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Mark McJoy in the building. Salute, salute. Shout out to Miss Rain and Woman. Hey, Rain and Woman. Good to see you. Shout out to Ricky Webster in the building. Salute, my brother. Salute. Shout out to my man Bob. What up, Bob? What up, Cuzzo? Shout out to Cuzzo on the check-in. Hey, Classy Creole. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to Tell Toya. What's up, Toya? She said you don't have to like the messenger, but like the stream. Yeah. Facts. What's up, Dolomite? Shout out to my man Dion in the building. Salute, bro. Salute. Hey, Miss Camille. Good to see you, sweetheart. Shout out to Miss Camille on the check-in. Good to see you. Good to see you. E313. What's good, E313? What's going on? What's up, Letitia? What's going on? Hey, L'Oreal. What's up, L'Oreal? Shout out to my man Jay Bayard in the building. Salute, my brother. Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with you, man. Shout out to my man Chuck. What up, Chuck? No doubt. Salute. Salute. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone. We got another show lined up for you guys. We got episode 3 of this series, Men Lose Themselves When They Do This. We're going to get into episode 3, but before we get into it, as y'all can see, we finally got some merch, y'all. We got the merch is in the building. You know, if y'all would like some merchandise, fellas, ladies, you know, y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all gonna start putting in y'all orders. I'm gonna say by next week, y'all can start putting in y'all orders, you know. But what you guys think? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. These are the fitted hats for the fellas. We also gonna have trucker hats for the ladies and for the fellas as well. Also, we're gonna have some hoodies and we're gonna have some t-shirts for you guys. And that's just the starter. That's just the starter kit. That's just the starter kit. I appreciate that, y'all. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, Jay. Shout out to you, man. Y'all definitely will be able to cop real soon. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Thank you, Rain Woman. I appreciate it. See, here's the logo here on the t-shirts. So y'all can see it. Stand up for y'all so y'all can see it. See? Nice logo. Here's the hat. Little design on the sleeves. You know, something my speed. You know, nothing too extra. Yeah, and it's gonna be available real soon, y'all. I'm gonna say y'all give me another week and y'all will be able to start putting in y'all orders. Y'all will be able to start putting in y'all orders. I'm gonna say just give me another week or so, and y'all will be able to start putting in y'all orders. But shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate it. She says, "Oh, I'm signed up." Most definitely, most definitely. And we gonna have a lot. We're gonna have a lot more coming for ladies too. I'm not just gonna keep y'all with the with the t-shirts and stuff like that. Because I know the ladies support the channel, so I'm gonna get y'all. I'm gonna get y'all right. I'm gonna make sure y'all correct. You know. What up, Ebo? Salute, bro. I know this is a man's channel, but the ladies support me, so I'm gonna make sure y'all good. I'm gonna make sure y'all good. Raina Woman says, please make sure you wear your merch at least once a week when you're out and about. Add your YouTube channel link to some of your merch. Oh, absolutely. 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 I appreciate that, Raina Woman. Every merchant, every piece of merch that you guys buy from me, it's gonna come with a card with a QR code on there. And with that QR code, y'all can find me on y'all could connect with me on all of my social media platforms. Y'all will be able to stay in tune with the channel and everything. So everyone who buys a piece of merchandise, you know, it'll come with a card with a QR code on it. So if y'all know anybody, if y'all want to spread the word, which is be very much appreciated, y'all can just give them that card and they could just scan the QR code that's going to be on the back. Shout out to my brother Del Diddy. Salute, salute. Shout out to Alonzo, man. Salute, my brother. Salute to y'all brothers, man. But yeah, every it's gonna come with a thank you card with a QR code on the back. And with that QR code, y'all be able to follow me on all social media platforms, so on and so forth. But shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all see today's show. Y'all see today's show. This is episode 3. Men lose themselves when they do this. What is that, DS1? When they don't create and enforce boundaries. When we don't create and enforce healthy boundaries, we lose ourselves, fellas. We lose ourselves. When we just start thinking everything is just okay and we can just sit back and I'm not saying be hyper vigilant. I'm not saying be paranoid, but you have to create and enforce healthy boundaries. Because a lot of times when we don't do this, when we get into a comfort zone, some of us, it take years for us to get out of it. Some of us never get out of it. And it just have our lives take a turn for the worse as men. And a lot of times it's we think it's a big thing when it's just simple things that we just got to tighten up on. and pay more attention to. Give certain parts of our lives more time and attention that we've neglected. You see? And usually those things that we neglect, it came from us not protecting those things, us not thinking that we have to protect them things, us thinking that, well, hey, it's just there and everything is okay. And that's where we go wrong, fellas. That's where we go wrong. And a lot of us, we lose ourselves when this occurs. And when I say don't create and enforce healthy boundaries, a lot of us have boundaries, right? But a lot of things are easily, you know, a lot of things we don't pay attention to. Those are the things that easily break those barriers. It breaks those barriers. It breaks those boundaries. It's because we haven't enforced them. And those boundaries aren't healthy. They aren't enforced in a healthy way. See, because usually the way a lot of us men live is we only create boundaries as as a form of resistance, because the way a lot of us grew up and where a lot of us grew up, boundaries to a lot of us, we we don't really understand what they are. We don't understand what they are. And being that we don't understand what they are, what happens is we quick to negotiate them. We're quick to take them for granted. See, this starts with us, fellas. I'm not talking about what nobody else do. I'm talking about what we do. I'm talking about what we do as men, what we're doing. You see, because all it takes for a lot of us is a woman with a nice body for us to quickly drop our guard, for us to quickly go against or to put everything in harm's way that we're trying to obtain. And a lot of us may not even see it like that, but we all understand from experience that that's what usually happens. Rain, a woman says no boundaries equal no standards. No standards equals no values. It's a good point. That's a good point. You see, a lot of times we allow things to come in between what's healthy for us. We allow other people to dictate what's healthy for us. This is an easy way. See, what do y'all think gaslighting and all of that's about? That's to get you to go against your boundaries. That's what that's about. It's for you to go against what you say you stand for, what you say you about. It's to get you to go against that. You see? And we have to understand that it's nothing wrong with having these boundaries and it's nothing wrong with enforcing them. You see? Because If you don't, at some point, you're going to lose yourself. And this happens to a lot of men. It happens to a lot of us in relationships. It happens to us in life, period, with people, dealing with people. We allow people to keep, doing what they do to us because we haven't enforced the boundaries. We haven't set them, and then we haven't enforced them. See, listen, fellas, there's nothing wrong with enforcing your boundaries. Okay? There's nothing wrong with, oh, well, he's mean, and they try to run you through that. But once again, that's to get you to not enforce your boundaries. You don't have to be an asshole to enforce your boundaries. You don't have to be a prick to enforce your boundaries. You don't have to do these things. But enforcing them is a must. Because see, let me let you guys understand something too. When you have boundaries and you set them and you enforce them, right? You may not be liked. You may not be everyone's cup of tea, but people will respect you. People will respect you because they respect what you stand for. And as men, you must stand for something. And when men don't stand for anything, they fall for anything. Hence why we're talking about this today. See, once you begin to start falling for anything in life, you're just able to get tossed to and fro in life, you'll lose yourself. You'll wake up one day and won't know who you are. You'll lose yourself. And it's because you didn't create and enforce those healthy boundaries. You see? And there's nothing wrong with this, fellas. Let them label you whatever they want. Let them label you whatever they want, because at the end of the day, that's the type of world that we in, man. And as men, we got to understand this. People want what they want, but that don't mean you have to give it to them. That don't mean you have to give it to them. You don't owe nobody that. Anything somebody think you owe them, you owe it to yourself first. You don't owe them that. You see? See, the reason why a lot of these women still running around and playing around and all of that, because a lot of dudes are still running around and playing around too. And I'm saying that because they running around and playing around with dudes. So let's not act like we're not still out there running around and playing around too. You see? Somebody impregnated Sexy Red. Suki Hana has multiple children. And last time I checked, both of their baby daddies are black men. You see? So we could sit here and talk about that all day. But if we still having children with these types of women, if these type of women are still able to be a part of our lives, then what are we talking about? Those women should not be able to access certain type of men. Period. Who gives them access? the men. Why? Because we allow the sex appeal and all of those things to stop us from enforcing those boundaries. If you don't want to deal with those types of women, you have to clearly stay away from them. That has to be a boundary for you as a man. This is how serious it has to be. It can't just be a talking point. It cannot just be a talking point. It has to be something you live by. You see? This is why all of the whole revolutionary talk and all of that stuff, this is why that stuff is null and void nowadays. Because all of that stuff can be easily infiltrated due to the lack of enforcing boundaries, the lack of protection. And men, we don't protect ourselves. We talk about financial protection, but we don't protect ourselves in the social environment. You see? We don't protect ourselves socially. We don't protect ourselves spiritually. We don't protect our energy, man. That's what boundaries are for, to protect your energy. Protect your energy, man. You see? Because if we understand what's going on out here, this is something that we have to do as men, and we have to take this stuff serious. And we can't care what the women think about it. Oh, well, I think you shouldn't have to do all that. Well, that's your opinion. Last time I checked, you ain't a man. So you don't know how to do this. You know how to do you. Do you. You see? This is something that we have to take serious. What up, UFO? Dale Diddy says, I enforced the boundary my ex crossed. I made the boundary and the consequence of crossing it clear in the beginning. My heart may have not wanted to end it, but I value being a man and my word more. Absolutely, bro. And this is what we got to understand, fellas. You see what bro wrote? He said, my heart may have not wanted to end it, but I value being a man in my word more. Absolutely. And this is what we have to understand, fellas. That means more, because you can always find another woman. But guess what you got to do? As a man, you got to get up every day and look yourself in the mirror. You got to get up every day and deal with yourself. You see, she don't have to deal with you no more because she out of your life. But you're left to deal with all of that. Going back on your word and not valuing yourself. You have to deal with that. She doesn't. You see? So y'all brothers stop confusing when y'all hearing brothers get up here and we're trying to encourage brothers and let brothers know that it's time to be better. It has nothing to do with her. Because I know a lot of y'all think that. Oh, he just telling us this because that's what the women. No, this don't have nothing to do with no woman. Because as we can see, these women will go and get a goddamn dustpan after being with a millionaire. They'll go back to the basement floor and go find a nigga. Perfect example is Remy Martin and Papoose. So So this is not for women, but women will benefit. Any woman in your life will benefit from it, but this is not for them. You see? This is not for them. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to deal with anything when that relationship breaks up. So these boundaries that you create and you enforce is for the betterment of you. You see? And anybody who choose to be with you, they supposed to respect and honor your boundaries. People who don't respect and honor your boundaries, they don't like you. They don't respect you. You see? OG says a vampire has to be invited in. Del Diddy says healthy boundaries are a form of self-love and self-respect. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to my brother P that, man. Salute, salute. He said, shout out to DS1 on his fitness progress. Looking good, young man. Salute, salute, OG. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, man. I'm gonna have some Sleep Stay Sleep TV merch coming soon, too, man. We're gonna have the merch coming soon, too. And we're gonna have all sizes. So stay tuned. But it is a form of self-love and self-respect. You see? And fellas, self-love and self-respect is not arrogance. It's not being cocky. It's you just loving yourself. How many of y'all saw that it's a little TikTok reel going around where it was a woman saying that a lot of these women out here don't really want men to start loving themselves. They don't like the message, you know, that is out in the atmosphere now where men are focusing on their mental health. You know, they going back and they healing. You know, they worrying about what they eat, they worrying about their health physically. They're getting more into self-care. There's a TikTok reel going around with a woman saying that a lot of these women, they don't want that shit. Women want us to stay as toxic as we've been. They don't want us to start loving ourselves, fellas. Because they know that they will not have the access that they've once had. You know why they wouldn't have that access? Because we would do what? Create, set, and enforce healthy boundaries. You see that? I don't know if y'all saw that. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw that TikTok reel, but it's going around. It's going around. What up, boot camp? Salute, bro. What's up, ES? It's going around. They don't want us to get on our shit. See, when they say they want men on their shit, they talking about just men getting a bag up. But they don't want black men to start going to therapy, start going and healing, and start thinking different. Because guess what? You're no longer going to exist. Heal before we build. You see, when you start healing, them women that you once found, they're not even attractive no more. Not because you think you the shit. It's because you've became a better person. You see? So McDonald's don't taste the same. See? McDonald's don't taste the same. You know? You've been eating a lot of home cooked food. McDonald's don't taste the same. You see? They don't listen, fellas. And shout out to all the brothers who've been supporting this channel, man. This is why the big people they watch us, man. Where y'all think Charlemagne the God get all his shit from? You think they don't watch our channels? You think they don't watch YouTube? They do. Now all of a sudden, all the rappers talking about healing, talking about trauma. Oh, I'm traumatized. Where they get that from? Who made that popular in social media? Where they get it from? We know who made it popular, the machine. But somebody brought that to them. Who started having conversations with rappers about their childhood? Charlemagne. They watch us, man. You think they don't? You see? But guess what? Guess what we got to learn what to do, fellas. This is what I had to learn. You can't be a seeker of credit. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, that came from DS1." I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that anymore. I'm no longer a seeker of credit. If you give me my credit, salute. But guess what I want more? I want the change. I want that more. I want to see more brothers. I'm more happy seeing more brothers talk about it. I'm happier, not more happy. Let me correct myself. I'm happier. We got a teacher in here. Let me correct myself. Excuse me, Toya. I'm sorry about that. More happier. I sound crazy. I'm happier to see the conversation spreading. See, the real people know where it came from, even the people who brought it to the mainstream. They know where it came from, but I'm happy that it's there. Okay, I can't be there with it. Cool. But I feel good when I watch an interview and I hear Shice Bub talking about he went to therapy and how he was having back issues. And he found out from the therapist that those back issues stem back to situations in his childhood. Those back issues came from him when he used to get whoopings. You know how when you getting slapped on your butt with the belt, how you tense up? That's where the pain in his back was. And the therapist located that and told him that. He didn't even know why his back was hurting. He said his back was hurting for years. And he just walked around and ignored it. He didn't even know that pain, that physical pain, came from an actual incident that happened in his childhood that scarred him mentally so much he didn't even know. Because how men, we suppress it. Remember, I told y'all, I even admitted to y'all that I used to think depression was normal. I never knew depression was a mental illness. That's how real it is for a lot of us brothers. How we suppress the shit. We don't know that it's that severe. We don't think about it like that. This is just what it is, and we're gonna deal with it because this is what it is. That's how we live. Until we find out, now that shit was wrong. That shit scarred me. I'm still dealing with this shit till today. So I'm more happier. I'm happier. Look, I said it again. I'm happier, right? To see that more brothers is having a conversation. Yeah, go and check it out. Boot camp. Shice Bub interview on Bag Fuel. He did an interview on Bag Fuel where Heineken and Esso, they used to be on My Expert Opinion with Math. They have their own show called Bag Fuel. Shice Bub was up there. That's where he told a story. I just watched Graph in the interview. Shout out to Graph. Shout out to Shice Bub. He was just in an interview talking about his trauma and how he was traumatized as a child. These are black men talking about this. So I'm happier to see that than for somebody to say, oh, look, DS1, they stole that from you. Oh, DS1, they stole that from you. I'm done with that, man. I'm done with that. I'm no longer a seeker of credit. Because I'm going to get my just due. I'm already getting it. You know why? Because I'm watching celebrities have the conversation that I created. You see? You see? So I won. I won. I don't need to argue. Oh, y'all owe me this. Y'all stole this. Y'all owe. No. No, I'm done with that. The proof is in the pudding. You know, DS1 is in the fabric of what's being talked about. So I don't, you know, y'all don't want to give me the money. Cool. It's gonna come. I'm not looking for that. I'm glad black men are sitting down in therapy. Black men are focused on healing, talking about their traumas. They ain't promoting money and flossing no more to hide their traumas. See, this is the shit that I've been pushing. And I'm happy to see that it's actually coming to pass. You see? I'm happy. I'm happy, man. Charlemagne wrote books about it. You know, he encourages other men in his industry to do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, we're our own agency. So I'm happy to see the brothers having a conversation, man. That conversation that they're having, those things that they're doing is going to get these brothers to begin to create, set, and to enforce those healthy boundaries. So they don't be re-traumatized. So they don't go out and traumatize their children. Or if they found out that they've done it, they can now take their children to get help before it's too late. You see? So that's what's important here. That's what's important here. What up, MR? MR says no more blankets. Del Diddy says if men had a standard of not getting in relationships, having sex, or conversing with hyenas, there would be a shift culturally. Men set the standard. Women create the atmosphere for them to thrive. Absolutely, bro. We set the standards. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And women create the atmosphere for them to thrive. They play it out. They play it out. That's a fact. That's a fact. And our standards are very low, right? Because of the lack of boundaries being set. It's like we just accepting. It's like we nigger rig our way through life. Like, all right, that worked. Well, I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, that messed up. Well, I'm gonna stop doing that. It's not nothing. It's not anything strategic. You're not moving with a purpose. This is why they say you're tossed to and fro. You're not moving with purpose. You're not setting you're not setting any boundaries because your standards is low. Your standards is so low to the point where you don't even think you need boundaries. You actually think by having boundaries, you won't get what you want. This is what I hear when a lot of these guys be calling into these dating shows. When they go and get advice from the dating coaches, these guys set their standards low because they don't want a woman to turn them down for some vagina. This is why guys are setting their standards low, because they feel like if my standards are low, at least I could get some coochie. So this exactly goes back to what Rain and Woman said. No boundaries, no standards equals no boundaries. And you have no standards because you don't value yourself. That's why we set our standards so low. That's why at the end of the day, if anything, we could just get some coochie out the deal. That's so low level, brothers. That's low level. Yeah, that's what men do. Yeah. Yeah, on the instinct level, on the slowest, at the primal level of a man is he wants sex. That's primal. That's a man's instinct. See, a lot of y'all get up here, oh, well, that's man, and that's being a man. And yes, that's the basics. The basics. That's the basics. You know you want to have sex with her as soon as you see her. We physical. We gonna look, oh yeah. Or look, nah, I'm good. So this is why no boundaries are being set. Because if you put a boundary there, she might be like, well, you too difficult. I ain't trying to mess with you. And that might blow your chances of having sex. That might blow your chances of having sex. So what we do is we have little to no boundaries so we can have access to the basics. Think about this, fellas. We're walking around here with little to no standards, right? Because we have little to no value, self-value. We don't mean shit to ourselves first. We don't mean nothing to ourselves first because we think our life is for the world. We go and give our life away, right? So we have no value. So this is why we set little to no boundaries. What are you setting a boundary for when you just trying to get the bare minimum? If you're just trying to get the bare minimum, what do you need a boundary for? This is our logic. What do I need to put a boundary in there for? I'm just trying to hit it anyway. What do I need a boundary? The boundary, we feel like the boundary will get in our way. You see? But what we not seeing is we're putting ourselves in harm's way. We're jeopardizing our mental health. We're jeopardizing our finances. Depending on the type of woman, you might be jeopardizing your physical health. All of this we're exposing ourselves to just for the bare minimum of sex. You see? This is what we're doing. And when we do not create, set, and enforce boundaries, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves, man. What up, Bucket? Shout out to my man Bucket in the building. L'Oreal says, so the question is this. Since there are ladies out there that don't want men to get better, how can men protect us, ladies, if men don't heal from their trauma and bring forth leadership? Great question, L'Oreal. Great question. Great question. And I think that's actually a question for the women. That's actually a question for the women because, you know, the actual real women want men to heal, want men to be better for themselves because that gives them a better man. See, real women understand this. Real women understand this. Women who are actually not afraid to deal with real men. You see, they're not afraid of that because they can actually deal with a man that way. But a lot of these women are not able to. They're only able to deal with broken, damaged men. And that is the men they constantly want access to because those are the men that they can control and lead and tell what to do. And when everything goes wrong, they can blame him. You cannot do that with a man who done created, set, and enforced boundaries in his life for himself. Women like that will not last. You know what happens to women like that? What is the new term? Bloque. Bloque. See? That's what happens when those women come across certain guys who are not playing with them, who are not playing with life. Bloque. Oh, you just want some attention. Block. Oh, you think I'm gonna keep you company while you bored. Block. You think you're gonna have me on the phone talking to me like I'm your girlfriend. Block. Because I don't put up with things like that. Bloque. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what these women be saying? I just did that to see how he was going to respond. He really took me serious and blocked me. Sure did. I was just playing with you. I don't play like that. Goodbye. Oh, you mean? Goodbye. Go play in traffic or go to Sesame Place and play with Big Bird. Don't play with me. Block. Block. Raining Woman says women will also understand the importance of being a safe place for a man's vulnerabilities, wherein he can express his traumas, hurts, etc., and play a role in his healing. Raining Woman, you done went too far. you asking for too much now from these women. You are asking for too much, Raining Woman. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, Lori. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, Raining Woman. They don't want to hear that. See, these two comments that L'Oreal and Raining Woman just made, these women don't want to hear that. That's too much. You're putting they got to drink milk first, random woman. They need milk first. Give them some milk. You trying to give them some steak. Give them some milk. They need some milk. They need some milk first. They need some milk first. Shout out to you, brother Love. Salute, man. It'll be on sale. It'll be on sale in like another week, man. It'll be on sale in like another week. I'm going to start taking orders by like next week. I'm going to keep y'all posted. Definitely going to keep y'all posted. Del Diddy says, unhealed women don't want men to heal, don't want a man's protection. They want a guard dog in the form of a male body. Exactly. And they want a crash dummy. They want you to be a crash dummy. You're going to be the crash out. Absolutely. Boot Camp says, are they running before you? You can block it. Block. Exactly. L'Oreal says, it just makes my head hurt of some of the things people say, man. Yeah. Yep. Especially when you hear it all day now. Now, a lot of the rhetoric is just normalized now. You see? And this is why this is important, fellas. We got to protect our vibe. We got to protect our energy, man. We got to protect our energy. The way we do that is with boundaries. And don't let nobody shake you or shame you for having them. Because I've allowed that to happen to me. I've allowed myself to be gaslit in the past, to stop enforcing certain boundaries and just was letting certain shit go and thinking that, oh, well, if I don't say nothing, it ain't nothing. It ain't gonna be an issue. And then they start doing shit like this. See, when you start, when you stop setting and enforcing boundaries, they start doing shit like this later on. When you start being too loosey-goosey and letting shit go and think, oh, it ain't like that. And this why they say shit like, oh, real men don't say nothing to women. You know, a man that's comfortable in his masculinity wouldn't have to say nothing about my outfit. See, that's gaslighting. Because she know her ass out. She know her ass out. See, these women know that. Girl, how my ass look? She know her ass out. So when they say that dumb shit, you got to ignore it. That's them trying to get you to not enforce your boundaries. You see? And when you realize that you've let too much shit go, you look like this in the picture. You start looking like this in the picture because you let too much shit slide. Oh, it ain't that serious. You start letting her gaslighting get to you to where you stop saying shit. And then you look like this. And then you look like this. Because you know you in a spot with your woman with all these wolves. And your woman walking around smiling. Yeah. You end up looking like this. This is what happens when you don't create, set, and enforce your boundaries. See that? You start looking like this because you really don't want to be there because you're embarrassed. See, Pat was sitting there. Pat was sitting there looking like, why would my wife want to come out here and look like that? He thinking about that shit like, why she want to look like this? See, you let too much shit go, Pat. You let too much shit go. What up, Club Fortune? You see? You let too much go. You start letting your guard down too much. You start the shit that you wasn't tolerating before. She started working on you. See, they do that to us, fellas. See, it's not always her being loud and ratchet and dismissive and don't want to and ignoring you. No, some women finesse you. They finesse you. They wear you down. They play the long game. They wear you down. This is what happened to Pat. Look at his face. He wore out. Look at his face. She wearing him down. That's what she doing. The gaslighting is getting to him. Look at his face. The gaslighting is getting to him. They start saying stuff like this. I thought you was a real man. All you do is complain now. They start saying shit like that to you. They start saying shit like that to you. Who's the man in a relationship? They start saying shit like that to you. That's gaslighting. That's gaslighting. You come on now. See, because let me explain something to you ladies, to ones that's watching in the clouds who believe that stupid shit. See, the only man who thinks this is okay and will stand behind it and protect it is a pimp. Because this is hoe attire. This is how hoes dress on the strip. So do you got a man or do you got a pimp? Because the only man that's supposed to be protecting a woman who walk on the streets like this, who go out in public like this, is a pimp. Ma'am, do you know that? You see? This is why you will have dudes after your wife, because she's presenting herself in the street as a whore. This is whore attire, okay? This is not sexy. This is not risque. This is whore attire, okay? Whenever your woman is wearing something that you can go to Bensonette and see a woman wearing, you could go to East New York, Pennsylvania Avenue, in the back by the Ark, and you could see your woman's outfit on one of them women. She's behaving like a whore, okay? I don't want to hear that dumb shit you women get up here and say, because it's hogwash to real men. If whores wear what your wife wear, your wife is wearing the wrong clothing. And you supposed to set a boundary for that. That was supposed to be known off the rip. That's not tolerated. I'm not a pimp, so I'm not walking the street with a whore. And guess how people gonna think you a whore? By what you're wearing, not by what come out your mouth. Okay, woman? So stop talking that stupid shit with your whole philosophy, because that's all that is. Hoes trying to philosophize whoredom. Whorism. Okay? People judge you based on what you wear as a woman, not what come out your mouth first. You're seen before you're heard as a woman. But a lot of you women don't even understand that. That's why you think you should get some respect in the street wearing this shit. And y'all still, oh, she's a man's wife. Right. Mm-hmm. How many wives is selling coochie for a pimp? Pimps take niggas' wives and put them on a strip. It's called being turned out. Okay? So don't talk that stupid shit to me. Keep talking that stupid shit to them. That's not gonna fly over here. You're supposed to look like a wife, not a whore. My wife shouldn't look like a woman that's in KOD. And when I say that, I mean dress-wise. If you want to look like one of the women in KOD, baby, we're going to do that in the house. Okay? Because you're not a stripper. You don't work at King of Diamonds. So why are you walking outside like that? You see? Whores should be wearing whore attire. See, prostitution is the oldest profession in the world, right? Like you women like to say. But guess what? The men and the women in society knew who the whores were. You know why? Because they wore shit like this. Okay? Wives didn't wear shit like this outside. Okay? Whores, you know, ones that's on the strip getting money, that's what they wear. Man, why you want to look like that? You see, Pap, you didn't enforce your boundaries. This is how I knew y'all was arguing. Because, see, Remy didn't start dressing like this until she started hanging with them whores. Till she started hanging with Lala. Till she started hanging with Trina. These are whores. Known whores. Yes. Juju. Whores. This is when Remy started dressing like this. This is why she wanted to get her body done and all of that. See, Pat, this is the face of a nigga who made too many negotiations. I know that look, Pat. You done negotiated too much, bruh. You done let too much shit slide. That's the face of a nigga who done negotiated too much. Yes, that's thought apparel. Absolutely. Sweetheart, what's going on, sweetheart? Right. Yeah, yep. I am. I am, Raining Woman. Yeah. Thought apparel. Del Diddy says men need to stop believing your tolerance of your woman and her actions equate to your understanding of your woman in the situation. Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. Hey, Shonda. How you doing? Shonda says, good evening, brother DS1. Same thing when Sierra went to the Oscar party dressed like a harlot and posed right next to her husband. Absolutely, Shonda. I remember that. I got plenty of flack for talking about that. A woman who values herself keep her modesty about her. Absolutely. Absolutely. But DS1, she's sexy. She got a body yaddy. She could wear what she want to wear. Yeah. Right. If she's a whore. See, that's all whore philosophy. That's whore language. That is the language of a whore. That's whore babble. Thought babble. That's what that is. That's not a logical justification. That's whore babble. That's called hoe excuses. That's what that is. Because whores never want to be classified as such. Hoes always wanted to sit next to classy women. Always. But see, the real women always knew that those are whores. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. Those are whores. See, real women always knew that. They knew the difference in society. There's no difference today. Seven N, what's going on, Seven N? Right, hoology. But guess what, fellas? Being that we understand what's going on in the environment, guess what we gonna have to do? Tighten up. It's time to tighten up, fellas. It's time to tighten up. It's time to tighten up. And either a woman either she gonna get down or she gonna get out. Period. Period. The boundaries are no longer negotiated. We're not negotiating my boundaries. We're not going to keep having conversations about my boundaries. We're not doing that no more. Fellas, if she want to keep talking and having a problem with your boundaries, block it. Goodbye. Alfalfa. Have a good life, ma'am. We're not doing that. And we have to show and prove it, not just talk. Stand on it for real. That doesn't mean not getting in a relationship, being a monk, being black pill. That doesn't mean any of that. That's extremism. All you have to do is treat yourself better. That's all you got to do. Set and enforce your boundaries and live by it. And live by it. Don't let nobody move you off of it. Live by it. If she not gonna move with it, she gotta move around. Goodbye. Same thing with other men. Goodbye. Goodbye. Because what they say, everybody, life is too short. You can't keep negotiating with a woman like that. I'm gonna leave that up there. You can't keep negotiating with women like that. This is a woman saying this. Fellas, this is a woman saying this. What up, Ebo? Shout out to Ebo for hitting the super chat. He says, bless you, brother. Each episode of this entire series has made me reflect on my first marriage and the transformation its downfall had on me. I was pap. A lot of us were, bro. Shout out to you, Ebo. I appreciate the super chat, my brother. A lot of us, man. A lot of us. And it's time for us to face the music. It's time for us to face that shit, man. It's time for us to face it. 7N said, what I did as a truck driver before I gave her a title and a ring, she got on my program. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even if she got on your program, you still have to create, set, and enforce boundaries within your program. See, that program stuff sound cool, but that doesn't mean you have boundaries. See, Papoose had a program. Pat structured his whole life around this woman. But if it was just about the program, why is he looking like this? And I'm not laughing at Pat to make fun of him. I'm just laughing at his facial expression. So we have to remember that, fellas. You still have to create, set, and enforce boundaries because your program could just be a program that makes her happy, that makes everything comfortable for her. You see? And she can follow the program to a T. That don't have nothing to do with you as a man. We have to stop thinking what we do for women and be for women is what make us men. That's not true. You was who you was before she got there. What Jay-Z said, you was who you was before you got here. That's what you got to remind these women. I was who I was before you came around. I'm not going to stop being that or start to negotiate being who I was before you got here because you are here. If you are not in agreement with that woman, it's that simple. So don't forget that, my brother. Don't forget that. Shout out to William Mason, man. Salute. Seven Ann says, I'll also tell men she got to come from a loving family. Yeah, family market value. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Especially if you want to marry her, she definitely need to come from a decent family. If you're going to marry her, definitely. Because if y'all married, you're going to be around her family. Her family going to be around y'all. Y'all married. Y'all got to understand, marriage is the intertwining of the two of y'all. So that means both of y'all families. So you better know her family, and you better vet them too. Vetting her family is part of vetting her. Okay? Understand this. Now, am I saying you should just write a woman off because of her family? No. But don't ever don't ever discount certain shit. Because some of that shit is up in her. Because that's the people she come from. That's the people she come from. Not saying she just like them, but she got some of that shit up in her. Understand that. Understand that. Shout out to Bronx Dawn. What up, Bronx Dawn? He said, I've had to face that before. It's the I'm tired. I've had that face before. It's that I'm tired of this girl face. Salute DS1 Ross. Salute Bronx Dawn. Absolutely. He tired. Come on, man. Look. Just look at the picture. You could tell he got the little nappy. He got the little naps. He got the little nappy fro up under the hat. You could tell. He like, I'm sick of her and I'm sick of all this fake music industry shit. This is why this is important, fellas. Because this is the face of a man who has or who's beginning to lose himself. See? You got to understand this, fellas. This is not a game. This is not a game. And losing ourselves in today's society, if we don't be careful, brothers, we'll end up in front of the gas station with sweatpants on, with no shoes on, dancing in the rain, high off some shit. Because see, now with technology and the degradation of society and the people, you lose yourself, man. You will find yourself off on the deep end now as men, because a lot of us really don't have nobody. You know, a lot of us lost family during COVID. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our family members died. You know, relationships dissolved. A lot of things, man, can easily drive us to being outside smoking K2. It's not that difficult, man, because our environment is easy for you to go that way. This is why mental tenacity and toughness and resilience is important. Setting and creating, setting and enforcing those boundaries, it will allow certain things in our life to never slip from up under us again. Certain things we won't slip. Not saying we're not gonna make no mistakes, but the rug won't be pulled from up under us because we didn't lose ourselves. You see? Some of us have lost everything and got it back because you didn't lose yourself. Yeah, you lost things, you lost possessions, but you didn't lose you. So you was always able to get all of that stuff back. But a way for us to not lose ourselves is to create, set, and enforce those boundaries. And if that means, we ain't gonna have access to certain women and all of that, we got to deal with that. Because what's more important? That little, that little quick little shenanigan or your peace? You willing to risk your mental peace just to let this little thought pocket come in and start causing chaos and drama in your life just so you could get a little shot of coochie? You willing to invite brimstones in your life just for a little cootie? This girl bring the demons of hell with her. And you ready to just open up the floodgates of your life because you want to have sex. All because you couldn't enforce a boundary. Nobody said you can't have sex. Who said you got to have sex with wicked women? Why you got to keep laying up with women that you know will call the cops on you? That'll just create something out of nowhere. And now you in an adverse situation. Salute, bro. He said, hit the like, y'all. Shout out to my brother, Shot to Slim. That's my comrade right there. Salute. You see? Is it really worth it? It's not. Or is it worth it? Because some guys say it's worth it. It is what it is. But let's just be honest, fellas. Is it really? See, remember, it ain't tricking if you got it. It ain't tricking if you got it. Then these the same niggas now talking about trauma and being used and being taken advantage of. It ain't tricking if you got it. See why you got to stop listening to them lies? You got to stop listening to them lies, man. Because then them same guys will turn around and come on a podcast and tell you how he don't feel happy on Christmas time because he bought everybody shit and he don't even feel happy. These are the same guys that'll tell you it ain't tricking if you got it. Same niggas. You got to stop believing it, fellas. Got to heal before we build, man. This is where we at. I told y'all I was nowhere around it. What Future said? Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. A little bit of pleasure for a whole lot of hell. Absolutely. Dion says, when you down, it makes you who makes you who you are. Nothing but the truth over here. Salute, man. Salute, bro. I appreciate you. No, I always appreciate your support, my brother. You one of the day ones, man. What you looking at, L'Oreal? William Mason says, don't open your life up to anyone who is operating on demon time. Don't care how good the sex is. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But let's keep it 1,000. We don't know or see the demons until after the sex. Because a lot of us brothers, we don't walk with that eye. We don't walk looking for demons on them. We don't walk looking for demons on them. We don't do that because we don't walk with a certain vigilance where we protect ourselves in that way. Because a lot of us think it's not that serious until we actually come in direct contact with these women. When we're sleeping in the bed with these women every night for years, this is when we realize how serious it is. When we done had a child by these women, a couple of children, we don't see it from the gate because of our what? Shitty vetting process. Make sure y'all check that series out. We don't see it because our shitty vetting process. Our shitty vetting process goes back to us not setting any boundaries for ourselves, which goes back to us not having any standards and not having any self-value. So we get what we get. We get what we get, man. Right. Post-nut clarity. Facts. PNC. Day ones. No fake friends over here. Absolutely. Salute. Absolutely. William Mason says, gotta use discernment. If we know how to, we ignore the red flags, bro. So our discernment be off. You know? You see what you said, Bob? Bob says that was my favorite song back in 08. Shorty, you know I got that cash. You don't even have to ask. Yep. Ebo says, brothers and sisters, we're dealing with the tribe of Lilith attacking. Don't be consumed by her lore or influence. Great point, Ebo. Great point. And black women they know all about Lilith. They know all about that. They know all about that type of stuff. You speaking their language, Ebo. They know all about that. 7N says red flags looking like Six Flags. Bingo. He said sex flags. Facts. Facts, bro. We ignore that shit because we have a shitty vetting process. And I explained that and broke that down in the series. Shonda says those demons are there. People get it twisted about sex. It's not just a physical act. Those are two spirits connecting and remained connected forever. We have to be mindful who we allow access to us. Absolutely, Shonda. Absolutely. Absolutely. The demons are there. We don't see it. Us men, we don't see it. We ignore that shit. A demon. A demon. I'm looking at that apple bottom. I don't see any horns. I don't see any horns, Shonda. I see apple bottom jeans. I don't see any horns. I don't see a tail. I see a tail feather. I don't see a tail. This is how we be looking as men. That's how we be looking. What's up, Zahara? He says, sorry, I'm late. It's all good. You might have to catch the playback. Right. Keep your spiritual eye, man. Absolutely. That's what that discernment is. Your spiritual eye. Yeah, that's your spiritual eye being open. That's discernment. You know, looking past what you see in front of you. But a lot of us brothers have to develop that. That's not something that all men have. You know, let me say this. That's not something that all men actively has. It's there, but for a lot of men is lying dormant. It's not active. It's not active. You see? So fellas, always remember, man, and don't ever be uh discouraged by thinking that you're not going to attract what you want in your life because you have created and set and enforced healthy boundaries. If anybody who has a problem with that, there are people who don't need to be in your life. There are people who don't need to be in your environment. Those are the people who don't even need to be in your presence. Anyone who's trying to convince you that you shouldn't have boundaries and set them and enforce them and stand on them. Anyone who's trying to manipulate you from having them, get away from them. Don't tell them to get away from you, because we have a habit of doing that too. Well, y'all stay away from me. No, I'ma stay away from you. See, we have to be more active in our approach, fellas. Don't tell the fake people, the treacherous people, to stay away from you. You stay away from them. You stay away from the leeches. The leeches are never going to stay away from you. You're the host. You see? You stay away from them. You keep yourself sanitized, and keep some disinfectant around. See, that's what your boundaries are. Roach repellent. Bum chick repellent. That's what your boundary is. It's gonna block a stiff arm. When you playing football, stiff arm. That's what your boundary is to these bum chicks. These crazy demonic witches. Stiff arm. Stiff arm. That's what that is. That's what your boundaries represent. Stiff arms and roach repellent. Tired of dealing with these little roaches, these little chicks with dirty feet and black necks. You take a white rag and wipe the back of their neck, the whole rag turned black. Yeah, you tired of those? Create and set you and enforce some boundaries. All them roaches will stay away because they see the trap. They see the little roach trap. Like, oh, he got a roach trap here now. Yep. But what do roaches try to do? Roaches try to run around the trap. Stiff arm. When they try to run around, stiff arm. Yeah. You must create, set, and enforce healthy boundaries. That helps with anxiety, fellas. That helps with depression. Because a lot of times, men, we're depressed because we have so much on our mind at one time, things being compiled in our mind at one time. But if we know what to do with these thoughts by having these boundaries, we don't allow certain things to get to us in that way. Because we know where to put things and we know where to put people in our life. See? If Stella could get her groove back, why we can't heal, fellas? Hmm? What's wrong with showing we're our own agency? Stella could get her groove back. Right? They waiting to exhale. See, that's all mental health shit for women. Waiting to exhale. See, y'all, yeah. See, we don't even pay attention to movies and shit. They tell you in the movie. You don't see those type of movies for men because we not focused on that. I guarantee you, in the next few years, you start seeing movies like that. Dion says, hold up, Ross. I thought I was the only one thinking about that at once. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Set up that Roach Motel. Right. Right. Exactly. Keep that raid around. Yup. What up, Joe Blast? Salute. What you said, Bob? That's what they be looking for, huh? that's what we be looking for, huh? Move in silence, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, you like snipers, huh, L'Oreal? You like snipers. She like snipers. But fellas, this is episode 3 of Men Lose Themselves When They Do This. We lose ourselves when we don't create, set, and enforce healthy boundaries, man. We lose ourselves. Just ask Pat. He probably ain't lose a bunch of money, but you think he not losing sleep when he got to wake up and see shit like this on the internet? Y'all don't think he losing any sleep? Hmm. Because it could be a play. We could just be watching entertainment and they're tricking us. Could be. Could be. Either way, it's something that we can learn from, fellas. So shout out to everyone in the building. I appreciate y'all for pulling up to today's show. If you are here and you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button. Answer the poll. Make sure y'all answer the poll if y'all haven't yet. Also, share today's show, man. Share it on your community tabs, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere that you share content. Share today's show. Also, if you've missed any episodes, click the playlist section of the channel. Men Lose Themselves When They Do This. You can find all the episodes there. Also, stay tuned. We got the Sheep Stay Sleep TV merch coming. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all waiting. Like I said, just give me another week or two and y'all can start putting y'all orders in. Okay. Like I said, we're going to have some t-shirts. We're going to have some hats and we're going to have some hoodies. Too. So y'all stay tuned, man. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to everyone. Who has hit the super chat. If you would like to support today's show financially, you could go ahead and hit the PayPal or hit the Venmo. The links is going across your screen. If you are listening to the playback, you can also leave a super thanks. It's very much appreciated. Shout out to everyone who has financially supported today's show. It's very much appreciated. Most importantly, I appreciate y'all being here. If this is your first time, you enjoying the content, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone, man. I appreciate everyone for pulling up. We will be back tomorrow with episode 4. So y'all stay tuned. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.